Now at 10, we'll hear from the Joplin Police Department on a possible uptick in holiday thefts. Plus,
polls are closed here in Georgia, and election officials say voter turnout is on track to shatter midterm runoff records. I'm Skyler Henry in Atlanta with a look at the high-stakes Senate race.
and we look at how the Pittsburgh Salvation Army is helping families this holiday season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
As Christmas approaches, store owners might see an increase in shoplifting. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Yana Hautala spoke to the Joplin Police Department about what to expect this holiday season.
With the holidays approaching, people are shopping for gifts. This is also a time where theft cases as well as shoplifting increase.
$1 or $750. There's consequences to it, and you can go to jail. You may have to pay a fine. There's a lot of things that can happen with it. So, any deterrence, to keep people away from stealing is what we're trying to do.
Some thieves come from further away and may steal from a specific chain of stores. Police mostly see local shoplifters in Joplin. A local store owner, Chrissy Caddy, says shoplifters have an effect on everyone.
I don't know that people know the impact it does to small businesses. Every dollar counts, especially right now.
She mostly sees shoplifters stealing jewelry or purses because they are small and easy to take away. For her, honesty is important.
We donate to a ton of different things. If somebody needs something, usually we're more than willing to help somebody out.
Thieves can have different ways of stealing.
They do what we call a push out or a walk out, where they just have the merchandise and just walk straight out the door. A lot of people will try to conceal merchandise on their person or under heavy clothing or in backpacks.
Caddy says walking around the store and having cameras can help store owners to identify shoplifters.
You can't just think guilty, everybody's guilty either. So I think it's a fine line too.
Joplin Police wants to do whatever they can to help people from being victimized.
Call the police department. We'd love to intervene. We want to try to keep these cases as minimal as possible here in the city of Joplin.
In Joplin, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
Davis says sometimes shoplifters steal for personal use, sometimes they're being sold again. A single car crash claims the life of a Pittsburgh resident. Authorities say around 11:20 last night, 70-year-old Robert Schaefer was driving south on 220th Road in Crawford County, Kansas. The vehicle left the road, hit a concrete culvert, and overturned. Schaefer was killed. No one else was hurt. A Grove, Oklahoma man is dead, and 2 people are injured in a southeast Kansas crash. Authorities say this crash happened yesterday afternoon on Highway 69 alternate north of Highway 166 near Baxter. They say 20-year-old Trey Cunningham was driving north, crossed the center line, where he hit a truck driven by 51-year-old Shannon Taft, who suffered a suspected serious injury. Cunningham was killed. The passenger in Cunningham's car, 21-year-old Valeria Lerma of Miami, Oklahoma, also suffered a, quote, suspected serious injury. Let's check in with Doug for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, a dreary day for us today. We had clouds, periods of drizzle, fog across the region. We still have some fog out there right now, which you can see at 7th and Rangeline. But temperature is right about where we should be for this time of the year. High temps right around 50 degrees. Temps right now, low 40s, northern counties, mid to upper 40s once you get into our southern counties. But look at the fog, still fairly thick once you get down through the metro and then into southwestern Missouri, kind of stretching back into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Also, we're socked in with the clouds. Now, there's not a lot underneath the clouds, just a few pockets of drizzle. But here's our next storm system developing down through central western parts of Texas. That is going to push rain toward us here in about 24 hours. Through tonight, clouds and fog, a little bit of drizzle, but mainly dry. Overnight low of 41. We'll break down this next storm system for you here in just a bit.
See you then. It was close, but CBS News now projects that Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is the winner in the Georgia Senate race against Republican Herschel Walker. The 2 candidates both failed to reach 50% of the vote last month, sending the race to this runoff now. Reporter Skyler Henry is in Atlanta with a look back at the campaign.
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker campaigned up until the last minute in the runoff election, both hoping to sway last-minute voters.
Georgia is better than Herschel Walker.
Amen.
Georgia is looking for a senator that's going to speak for them, Raphael Warnock has not spoken for Georgia. Everyone knows that.
Voters around Atlanta came out in rainy, chilly weather, though the average time to cast a ballot across the state was only a few minutes.
It's such a privilege and an honor to get out here and do my civic duty.
After November's election and this runoff, many said they're happy to put the race behind them.
We've been inundated with text messages and calls, and I think we're all ready for this to be over.
Democrats have already won 50 seats in the Senate, giving them a slim majority, but this election determines how much breathing room they'll have.
Yeah, every vote counts up in the Senate. You know, sometimes the issues are pretty close.
Georgia's Republican Secretary of State said his office will be auditing this race to double-check the results.
We know that we have safe, secure, honest elections that are accurate, but we want all the voters to have that same sense of confidence.
There were nearly 2 million early votes, and officials said more than 1 million more votes were cast on Tuesday. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Atlanta.
Again, CBS News projects Warnock is the winner in that race. Warnock's campaign spent about $170 million on the campaign, according to federal records. That's nearly 3 times as much as Walker's campaign, which spent nearly $60 million. Nearly 2 years after the January 6th riot, the U.S. Capitol Police Department and the Washington, D.C. Metro Police Department received the highest honor issued by the U.S. Congress, the Congressional Gold Medal. The ceremony happened on the Capitol Rotunda, breached by rioters 23 months ago. Law enforcement and congressional leaders honored the bravery of the officers in preserving our democracy. A new study links ultra-processed foods with poor brain function. Researchers in Brazil followed more than 10,000 people for 8 years and found those who got about 20% or more of their daily calories from ultra-processed food had a 28% faster rate of cognitive decline. A new review of dietary supplements found omega-3 fatty acid lowered the risk of death from cardiovascular disease. The research from Brown University also found folic acid reduced the risk of stroke. Take a quick look in your fridge before you pack your next lunch for school or work. Kraft Heinz Foods Company is recalling about 2,400 pounds of its ready-to-eat Oscar Mayer ham and cheese loaf. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the products may have fallen victim to cross-contamination with under-processed material. So far, there's no word of any illnesses related to the recall. Consumers are advised to take the loaf to the place of purchase for a refund or maybe just throw it out. Coming up, how the Pittsburgh Salvation Army is helping families in need with multiple organizations. Plus, we'll hear from one of the hundreds of families positively impacted by KOAM's Toy Box campaign. The Christmas elves at the Pittsburgh Salvation Army are hard at work trying to make less fortunate kids in the community feel the holiday spirit. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to the Salvation Army about how toys can make a big difference in the community.
The Salvation Army in Pittsburgh is partnering with KOAM's Toy Box as well as other community organizations to give toys and clothing to the less fortunate families in Crawford County.
As well as monetary gifts that have come into us, we will turn around and buy toys. We also rely on KOAM Toy Box, who gives us toys that have been donated from Crawford County, and that helps fill the need.
Pittsburgh Salvation Army's goal is to help as many families in Crawford County during the holiday season.
And this year our numbers are significantly up. We have about 120 more families than we did last year and about 400 more individuals. So our numbers are up, thus the need is greater.
Pittsburgh High School Keys Club members are acting as elves, creating boxes of toys and clothing to bring a smile to kids and their families.
They are selecting the toys. The parent or guardian has preferenced 3 toys. We will hope to get at least one of those, but then they will choose other age-appropriate toys. So they are really looking at it, and I always tell them, think about if you were opening these on Christmas morning.
The local high school students are happy to play the role of Santa's helpers.
It's just so much fun because we get to collaborate with other students that we don't usually talk to. We get to ride over here, we get to get out of school, and we get to help families that are going to receive these amazing gifts donated by amazing people.
Kiara says a small good deed can make a world of a difference.
I believe whether you're in a club or not, it's always good to help those around you because you don't know how much of a difference you make. Like Even holding a door open, smiling, telling someone they're beautiful, they had an amazing day can make such a big difference.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Those toys are to be distributed next week. That'll be December 13th through the 15th. While the Salvation Army's toy drive is focused on children, they do also have food vouchers for adult-only households in need. Toy Box positively impacts children and their families all throughout the 4 states. KOAM was able to catch up with one of the hundreds of families that will benefit from the Toy Box donations. In Ottawa and Delaware counties, our Toy Box partner is the Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots. This year, they're celebrating their 75th anniversary, and this year, more families than ever have signed up. In fact, 6,000 kids will receive toys, which is up from 2,000 a year ago.
Please, if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time, your numbers on your paycheck, they mean nothing to me. I know you have bills. Just go online and sign up.
The Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots will keep sign-ups open until December 20th. Our friends at Abernathy Roofing joined us on one of our recent toy shopping trips. We want to give a big thank you to the folks at Abernathy for all their support.
Christmas is our whole family's favorite time of the year. We love to give to our family, to our friends, to the community, and we try to live that throughout the year. But this time of year, there's just that something about Christmas time that everybody just loves to give, and we just get extra giving throughout this time of year. So.
Now, you can still donate online on our website, koamnewsnow.com/toybox. Our final Toy Box Tuesday telethon is going to be next week during our noon, 5, and 6 p.m. shows on Tuesday. The Watco Christmas train stopped in Pittsburgh to board about 300 first grade students for a train ride with Santa and his 2 elves. The goal is to get the kids familiar with trains while showing some Christmas spirit.
Well, it takes me back a lot of years when I got my first Christmas train, and it brings back a lot of memories, and it's kind of neat to just see the joy in the kids' faces.
When Santa hugged me.
The train ride was an hour-long ride. The students were served cookies. Alorica partners with the Joplin Fire Department for the annual Christmas for Kids campaign. The employees donate toys and wrapping supplies to help local kids at Christmas. They've donated more than 2,000 gifts and $2,000 in cash to the charity.
As firefighters, it's always wonderful for us to be able to help people, and that's what we do. But to be able to reach out and help facilitate a program like this where we give toys out to the kids during the holidays, especially those that can't afford it.
This is the 5th year Alorica has partnered with Joplin area firefighters Christmas for Kids. A little bit later, the Webb City Cardinals hit the court against the Lamar Tigers. We'll have details.
Plus, we have more rain working in for tomorrow. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it was gloomy outside today. We had the clouds, we had the drizzle, we've had the fog. We still have some fog out there, which is going to stick around throughout the overnight hours. That's why we have a dense fog advisory in effect till 9 o'clock in the morning. This is on the Missouri side. Once you get into Oklahoma and parts of Kansas, the fog isn't quite as thick, but we still have some out there. So be careful if you are going to be on the roadways tonight. All right, let's glance at the fog. You can see it right up the I-44 corridor. Thickest. Southern parts of Jasper County, parts of Newton County, extends over toward Mount Vernon. And then once you get to really Pittsburgh, it's just about gone. So it's mainly this swath right along the I-44 corridor. Temperatures right now, we are kind of holding low to mid 40s, 41 in Nevada, 43 Monette. Grand Lake sitting at 46, 42 in Pittsburgh. Nowata is checking in at 44 degrees. A little foggy out there, 7th range line, 44. Winds calm, humidity is high at 96%. Through the rest of the overnight, not much variance in temperature, only an overnight low of 41, so we kind of hang mainly into the low to mid 40s throughout the overnight hours. Clouds are sticking around. In fact, they're thickening up. Where you see the purples, this is showing us our mid and upper level tops, the higher tops of the clouds. So we have this low cloud deck, and now the clouds are thickening up ahead of our next storm system. Not much underneath them, a little bit of drizzle here and there. But here's our next storm system. It's kind of building out across central and western parts of Texas, and that's our next batch of rain, which is going to head toward us. Tonight, maybe a little bit of drizzle. Look at rain chances. So here's 4 p.m., here's 7 p.m., 10 p.m., 1 a.m. Thursday morning, 4 a.m. Thursday morning, and then starts to taper off. But you can definitely see tomorrow night, we are going to get some rain in here. All right, let's break it down. Clouds tonight, near 40. Through the morning, cloudy skies. We warm near 50. We should get into the mid-50s. 55 Monette, 53 in Veneta, Chanute about 50. A few showers start to pop up in our southern counties, but really increase during the evening hours. So here's 9:30 p.m. Where you see the yellows, kind of moderate rain, and then bands of rain all night long. Look at this heavy rain, especially along and south of I-44, continuing into Thursday morning. And then the heaviest will start to taper off, but we are going to have some showers sticking around behind it as we go into Thursday afternoon. So this is a pretty decent band that will affect most of us. 42 in the morning, 50 by noon, high 55. We'll back down to 52 by 5 p.m. We need the rain. All right, rainfall amounts, least amounts if you live in our northern counties, maybe 1/4 of an inch. And then once you get down toward the metro, about an inch, and there will be some isolated 2-inch amounts along and south of I-44. We do get a break on Friday, but right back in here, Friday night into Saturday morning, another wave is going to push on through. So we are going to stay pretty active. Really, the entire month is going to be pretty active. 55 tomorrow, 62 on Thursday, 52 on Friday, a little bit of a break, 56 Saturday, 60 on Sunday. Thunderstorm chances late Monday into Tuesday. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe. A little bit of everything.
Yes, including plenty of rain chances.
Yeah,
we need that.
We need that.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, the Kansas City Chiefs aim to bounce back this weekend against their AFC West rival, those Denver Broncos, and the Webb City Cardinals open the basketball season at home against Lamar. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more up next.
Well, tonight is the opening night of the season for the Webb City High School boys basketball team. Cards open the season at home tonight, hosting the Lamar Tigers. And this one, also the first game of the season for Lamar. And Webb City off to a good start tonight. Early on, Eli Pace gets the steal. Eventually gets to the other end. He gives it up to Baron Duda. More from Duda in a little bit. Then Pace gets an open look of his own. Knocks down the three. Webb City opens with a 22-8 lead after the first. Second quarter, Baron Duda really caught fire, man. Hits the three from the far side. Then moments later, other side, same result. That gets the Cardinals lead to 22. On the other end, for Lamar, Joel Beshore trying to keep the Tigers in it, knocks down the three. Lamar did close the gap a little bit, but in that second quarter, Baron Duda, too good. He had 19 points in the second quarter alone. Finished with 25 for the game. Webb City rolls by Lamar in their season opener 78-60. At the college level, the Missouri Southern women continue to climb up the national rankings this week. The Lions are up one spot to number 4 in this week's WBCA national poll. Southern is 9-0 to begin the season, including 2-0 in the MIAA, beating Missouri Western and Northwest Missouri last week. The Lions will be back on the floor on Thursday night on the road against Central Oklahoma. The Kansas City Chiefs are on the road this weekend facing the Denver Broncos. And with the win, combined with a loss from the Chargers, the Chiefs would claim their 7th consecutive AFC West championship. And Kansas City is coming off a little bit of a setback on Sunday. They fell to the Bengals 27-24 to snap a 5-game winning streak. That's the Chiefs' 3rd straight loss to the Bengals and dropped Kansas City to 9-3 overall this season.
We did some good things. We just had a couple mistakes down the stretch, and when two good teams are playing each other, that takes place, and it can cost you down the stretch when you have an opportunity to potentially go up on them and make it real difficult. We can't have the things happen that happen.
Former Oklahoma Sooners quarterback Baker Mayfield has a new home in the NFL. Mayfield was claimed off waivers today by the LA Rams. The Rams are without starting quarterback Matthew Stafford due to a spinal contusion. Mayfield was released by the Panthers on Monday after going 1-5 in 6 starts for the team. The former Heisman winner was the #1 overall pick out of Oklahoma by the Cleveland Browns back in 2018. Back to that Webb City game real quick. That Baron Duda, 19 points in the second quarter. That was one of the best quarters I've seen from a high school player in my career here.
Yeah, 19 points in one
That
quarter
alone. Yeah, he was not missing a lot.
I guess. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Arthur Stanton served in the U.S. Navy from 1943 to 1946. His hometown, Southwest City, Missouri. And we're proud to salute Bosun's mate, Arthur Stanton, a four-state hero. A newly discovered dinosaur species might have been a diving predator, kind of like a penguin or a duck. A team of scientists around the world published a new study saying the species Natovenator polydontus, or something like that, had a hollow body with 3 toes and claws on each limb. It also had streamlined ribs like those of diving birds. Researchers say the species likely used their forearms to propel them through the water. Not something you generally associate with dinosaurs, but we're learning more and more.
So they're just really mean ducks.
Maybe. I'm not sure they were mean. I suppose if you were the prey, then you would say that about anything. Yeah, that's true. Kind of dreary and damp out there.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of clouds sticking around tomorrow. Showers increase again tomorrow evening, tomorrow night into Thursday. A break Friday, rain Saturday, a break Sunday, thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday, and then cold.
Final sports note.
Pitt State men and women's basketball on the road tomorrow against Newman. We'll have the latest from that tomorrow night.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video from the annual Joplin Christmas Parade. Our float was there. You see our truck. Thanks for joining us again. Let's make it a great tomorrow.